And then just come to sitting up nice and tall, feeling the sit bones connected with the mat. Closing your eyes and just lengthening your breath. Long, deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Using this time to just disconnect. So whatever you did today, whatever you have to do later today or this week, just let it go for the next hour or so. Focus on just being here now. Using your breath as a tool to just come back to if you notice your mind starts to wander, just to kind of help you focus and stay present. Taking a moment to set an intention or just reminding yourself of a goal that you have or just something positive. You can slowly open up your eyes, and we'll just start out stretching our neck and our shoulder area. So you can drop your right ear down towards that right shoulder. Take the other hand out as a counter stretch. So it can either just reach out long, or you can actually reach it for the mat behind you. And then take your right hand to the top of your head, just gently bringing that right ear over to the shoulder. And you guys all look good, but just making sure you're not leaning over to the side, that your head's just tilted over to the side. And then maybe slightly tilting the chin up a little bit, just so it's not tilted downward. And then you can bring your chin down towards your chest. Take both hands, interlace them behind your head, bringing your elbows down. So still sitting up straight, but we're just gently bringing our chin towards our chest straight, stretching out the back of the neck. And then you can lift the head up, bring the elbows out wide. So just looking forward, maybe looking up a little bit. And then you can release your hands, and we'll just bring the left ear down towards the left shoulder. So opposite arm comes out as a counter stretch, reaching for the mat by the side. Other hand towards the side of the head. Gently bringing the ear down towards the shoulder, tilting the chin up just a little bit. Deep breath. And you can release here, just rolling your head and your neck out once or twice, either just side to side or in a complete circle. And then from here, we're going to come to sitting on our knees. So option to just sit on your knees, interlace your hands behind your back, drawing your shoulders down and back, either staying here, sitting up tall, or you can come forward, bringing the top of your head down, lifting the arms up and over. So either way is fine. Stretching up the arms a little bit, drawing the shoulders down and back. Good, and then you can make your way back down. And we're going to set up for child's pose. So go ahead and set your blanket or your towel up, and we're going to actually set it up a little bit wider so it kind of is a little bit outside the mat, because we're going to move from child's pose into frog pose. And for frog pose, our knees might be a little bit wider than the mat. So we're going to set the blanket a little bit wider towards the middle or the back half of the mat. And then you can make your way into child's pose from here. Taking the knees, so for the child's pose, the knees are about as the width of the mat. Sitting back towards the heels. Bringing your hands forward. Relax your forehead down. Either keeping those arms straight, really stretching them out long, or you can relax the forearms down at any point during the pose into a more relaxed child's pose. Take a moment here in this stretch and connect with your body and notice where you're feeling this stretch. Allow the muscles where you're feeling the stretch to relax. So allowing the muscles in the inner legs, the hips, maybe the knees, even a little bit the arms and the shoulders to relax. Notice if this feels good for your back. And just trying to find some stillness in the pose. Coming back to your breath. About 2 more deep breaths here in child's pose. Then from here, we're going to come forward a little bit. So we're going to transition into frog pose. So just coming forward a little bit, keeping the knees or the legs where they are. You're going to flex your feet, bringing your feet up a little bit wider. Maybe even bringing the knees out a little bit wider. From here, you can come down to your forearms. So now we're not sitting back towards our heels. Our hips are up, in line with the knees. Either staying here on your forearms, that's enough, or you could bring your forehead down to go a little bit deeper. So the frog pose variation is getting a little bit deeper into our inner legs. Allowing your body to release into the pose, relax. Just reminding yourself Yin Yoga is passive yoga. Coming back to your breath. Just knowing you'll get more benefits, more yin benefits from the stretch and if you can just allow your body to release and relax into a pose. About 3 more deep breaths here. And take your time. Move nice and slow, maybe coming up onto the forearms to bring the legs in to make your way out. So we're going to do a child's pose variation as a counter stretch. So just keeping the knees in towards each other. Hands behind you, the palms up to release the shoulders. And then bringing your head back down. Staying here for a few breaths as our transition pose before we move on to our next stretch. And then from here, you can make your way up to a seat. We're going to keep our mat the skinny way, just like it is, and roll it. So we're going to kind of roll it to a skinny roll and place it under our knees for caterpillar pose, which is just forward fold. So this just allows our knees to relax a little bit more, which is what we want in Yin Yoga. Right. So you can just start out sitting up tall, just with a straight back and taking a few breaths here. Let your legs relax, so let your toes, your ankles relax. You can even have a little space between your legs. And then we're going to start to make our way forward. So allowing, as long as it feels okay for your back, allowing your shoulders to round, your spine to round. Finding your edge in the pose for right now. So finding that spot where you're feeling a good stretch. We're still working towards getting a nice deep stretch, but without forcing it, without yanking ourselves down, without tensing our muscles too much. Check in with your body. The target area of this pose is the hamstring muscles, but notice if you feel it anywhere else, maybe in the knees, in the back. Allow those muscles to relax into the pose. Notice if you can go a little bit deeper now that we've held it for close to a minute already. Coming back to your breath. Just checking in. Seeing if you can go a little bit further. About 3 more deep breaths. And then taking your time to just walk your hands back nice and slow. Pause again, just sitting up straight. And then you can bend your knees. We'll take our feet out wide. Windshield wiper our knees side to side. Just bring some movement back to our body and releasing our spine. And then we'll come to a reverse tabletop. So bring your heels up towards you, hands behind you. Lift the hips up nice and high. If it feels okay, just let your head drop back. Good, and then you can lower back down. Our next pose is going to be Sphinx pose. So we're going to come onto our stomachs. You can set your blankets to the side. Coming onto your stomach and your forearms. Making sure that your elbows are under your shoulders. You're even a little bit forward of your shoulders. Drawing the shoulder blades apart and away from your ears. And notice how it feels in your lower back. If you want to be a little bit more gentle in the pose, gentle for your lower back, you'll just bring your head down, looking down, and you can even come all the way onto your stomach at any point if you want. If it feels okay and you want to increase the stretch a little bit in your lower back, just bringing your head forward, even up a little bit. But allowing your legs to relax, your lower back to relax. The only part of your body that really needs to stay active is kind of the shoulder area, because you want to make sure the shoulders just don't scrunch in towards your ears, that they're staying away from your ears. And for the last 30 seconds or so of the pose, you can either stay here, you could lower down if you wanted, or you could come into more of a seal pose, getting a little bit more into your upper back, so taking your hands out wide, working towards straightening the arms, and maybe you only do seal pose for a few breaths, that's fine. A little bit more into your upper back, a little bit deeper in your lower back. 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you'll come all the way down to your stomach. You can bring your hands by your side with your palms up, one side of your head down. Stay here a few breaths. And then you can lift your head up and bring the other side of your head down for a few more breaths. Good. And here you can make your way back up onto your forearms for just a moment. And we're going to come into a shoulder chest stretch. So you're going to take your right arm out, straight out to the side, roll forward onto your right, bringing the knees forward to start with. And bring the side of your head down. Either staying with both the knees bent, that top hand kind of right here by your side, or if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, more onto the shoulder, you'd straighten your bottom leg, bend that top knee. You can take the top hand, bringing it behind your lower back if that feels okay. So it's just up to you if you want to keep that hand on the mat in front of you, or you can draw it behind your back, also bringing that shoulder down and back. About 2 more deep breaths here. And then you can roll forward onto your stomach. You're going to take that arm that was out long and bring it underneath the other armpit. And you're going to take the other forearm, bring your head to that forearm, bring it back down so you're now just doing a counter stretch. That shoulder is squeezing in, hugging in towards you. And then you can make your way back through to the center and set up for the other side. So taking that opposite arm out long, straight by you, rolling onto that shoulder. Maybe just start out bending the knees in front of you. And if you want, straightening the bottom leg, bending the top foot. Option to take that other hand behind your lower back. About 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then you can roll forward onto your belly. Take that arm that was out long. Bring it underneath, forward and underneath the armpit. Forehead can be on the other forearm. Hugging that shoulder in towards you this time. About 2 more deep breaths. And then you can take your time to make your way out, make your way back up. Grab a drink of water if you have water with you. And we'll set up our blankets again as extra padding for our knees or our dragon pose or our low lunge. If you brought a block, you can kind of just have it nearby so that you have the option to use it. And then we'll bring our right foot forward. Back knee is going to be on the blanket. All right, so check in at the pose. Make sure that your front knee is over top of your ankle. Maybe lift that back knee up, see if you can go back a little bit further. Then, if you want, you can start out with your hands down. Maybe on your fingers, on your fists. And then at any point in the pose, if it becomes, you could even use, if you have your block, you could bring one hand on the block, one hand on your knees. But if at any point during the pose it just becomes a little bit too much, leaning forward, you can make your way up so that you have more length in your spine whenever you feel that you want to do that. From here, we're going to transition into lizard pose. So you'll take your right foot over to the right side of your mat, bringing both hands inside, and we'll just do a stretch to start out with. So you can take that right hand to the right knee, just open up the hip a little bit, coming onto the pinky edge side of that foot. Maybe a little bit of a twist. And then you can place the foot back down, placing both hands inside the foot, so getting a little bit more deep into the hips. If you want, you can use your block to bring one forearm down to start with. Maybe both forearms eventually come down to the block. Or maybe you eventually remove the block and come all the way down to the mat. About 3 more deep breaths. Take your time, maybe coming up onto the hands, and then making your way out of the pose, stretching it out. So maybe you just start out straightening the legs and the back, and maybe working into a downward facing dog to stretch out both the legs. When you're ready, coming into a child's pose before we move on and do the other side. And then you can make your way back up, and we'll set up for the other side. Taking your time to set up, making sure that front knee is over top of the ankle, and then see if that back knee can go back a little bit further. Maybe hands are just by the side, maybe you're on your fist. Just checking in and making sure that you're not dropping your chin down to your chest too much, that you're kind of keeping the spine in alignment so your gaze is more towards the front of your mat. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch. Relaxing those muscles. about 2 or 3 more deep breaths here. And then we can transition to lizard pose, taking the left foot over to the left side. We'll just stretch it out to start with. So maybe coming onto the pinky edge side of that foot, pressing the knee out to the side, maybe a little twist. So we can place that foot down. Both hands inside. Maybe using your block. If you don't have a block, either way, you would start out with one forearm, the outside forearm, working its way down lower first and checking in. And either staying on the one forearm or maybe eventually bringing both down or going deeper. About 3 more deep breaths. And taking your time to make your way up and just moving nice and slow to come out of the pose, however you want to come out. Stretching that leg out, stretching it out a little bit. And then maybe working your way into downward facing dog. And just stretching it out in down dog. Finding any movement. And then let's make our way onto our hands and knees and do a few rounds of cat-cow pose. Just stretching out our spine, just moving at your own pace, your own breath. If it feels good anywhere, just holding it, maybe pausing for a few breaths. Let's do one more round. Right, and then we'll make our way to a seat. And you can set your blanket aside. We're going to set up for shoelace pose. Stretching out mostly our hips. And then we'll do a few upper body stretches as well. All right, so let's start out with the left leg out long. Cross the right leg on top and work towards stacking the knees. So walking the foot over to the side. And, you can keep that leg out long if you want, and then you might get a little bit more of a hamstring stretch, or it might just feel better. Or if you want to bend that knee back, you can too. Another option is square pose. So they're both stretching out the hips. So if you really like this pose better, you can do that instead too. All right. So while we're here, let's first start with a twist. So let's reach the left arm up. And then you're going to take the left arm to the outside of the right knee, right hand behind your back. So just sitting up nice and tall, little neck stretch, looking over the shoulder. And you can make your way back through to the center. So we're going to stretch out our arms a little bit here. Reach your left arm up. All right. I'm opposite you guys. So anyway, I'm going to go like this. So stretch your left arm up, and then you're going to bend at the elbow. Take your right hand behind your back. It doesn't matter if your fingertips touch, but you want to focus on keeping that elbow up, keeping your head and chest in neutral, not hunching over. So the arm that's up long, you'll feel the stretch in the tricep, so that back muscle, opening up the chest, your shoulders, deep breath. You can release the arm, so take that left arm just across your body. So we'll just do a easy shoulder stretch. And then you can take the left hand down to your side, reach the other arm up and over to the side. So just stretching out the sides, obliques. You can make your way up. So option to stay here, just sitting up tall, feeling the stretch in your hips, or to go deeper into the hip stretch by walking your hands forward. About 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then walking your hands back, pausing, sitting up straight, and then take your time to untwist your legs. Just shake them out a little bit. Normal if they feel a little bit stiff. We'll just bring some easy movement back. And when you're ready, come into a reverse tabletop. And you can lower back down. We'll set up for the other side. Opposite leg starts out long, so you're following me. This time the right leg's out long. Cross. Left leg on top, doing probably the same variation that you did on the other side. So if you brought that leg back on the other side, that feels like that works on that side. And then we'll start with the twist. So just sitting up tall, Going to be your right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind your back, looking over your shoulder, little neck stretch, twisting through the spine, through the upper body. And you can come back through to the center. Take your right hand down, reach the left arm up, and we'll just stretch over to the side. And you can make your way back up. We'll do the arm stretch, so reaching your right arm up, bending at the elbow. So arms up towards the ceiling, other hand comes behind your back. Keeping your head and chest in neutral. Feeling that stretch in your chest and your tricep. Deep breath. And you can release your arms. We'll take that right arm across our body. So just drawing the shoulder down and back as you bring it across. Good, and then you can release, either just staying here, starting to make your way forward to go deeper. About 2 more deep breaths. And take your time to walk your hands back. Maybe pause sitting up straight and then untwisting your legs. You can shake them out or windshield wiper your legs side to side. Bring some movement back, working out that stiffness. And we'll come to a reverse tabletop again. Good, and then you can lower back down. Maybe grab a drink of water, and then we're going to come onto our back. Once you're on your back, just hug your knees into your chest and just move in a few circles. I'm going to turn the lights off. We're not going into Shavasana just yet, though. All right, from here, you can just bend your knees so your feet are on the mat. We're going to do that shoulder neck stretch So you're going to reach your arms up overhead, or up towards the ceiling. Grab your elbows. So you're making a frame just above your chest. And then you're going to move your elbows towards the right as you move your head to the left. And then inhale, head and elbows come through to the center. Exhale, your arm frame moves to the left as your head moves over towards the right. And we'll just continue this a few times in each direction, moving with your breath. Inhaling to come through to the center, and then on your exhale, your arms and your neck stretch in the opposite direction. Let's do one more time on each side. All right, from here you can straighten your legs. We're going to set up for banana pose. Reach your arms up overhead and grab your elbows on either side. This time the frame is relaxed behind your head. Walk your feet over to the right side. Maybe bringing the left ankle on top of the right ankle. Keep the hip exactly where it is, and then start to inch your upper body, your head, your upper back, over to the right side. So making this banana shape with your body. And then feeling that nice stretch along the whole left side of your body. Along your left legs, your hips, your obliques, all the way up through the arms and shoulders. And from here, just taking your time, walking the feet back through to the center. Bring your upper body back through to the center. Pausing here. And then we'll make our way over to the other side. Walking the feet to the left. Bringing the right ankle on top of the left ankle. Keeping the hips where they are and inching the head, the upper body over to the left side. Feeling that stretch along the whole right side of your body. And then from here, you can make your way back through to the center. We're going to come up onto our forearms behind us. So setting up for a fish pose. This one we're not going to hold very long, but you'll keep your legs out straight behind you. Heels kind of come under you, elbows under your shoulders. From here, Lift the hips up, forward, lift the chest up. Maybe allow the head to drop back, opening up your throat, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Little back bend. And then slowly lifting your head back up. We'll press our hands up to come to a seat just briefly. We'll grab your blanket and we'll set up our blanket for Shavasana. So 2 ways you can set it up. Well, you can either way, you can roll it up and either place it under your knees, which allows your back to relax a little bit more, knees come out to the side, or you could use it like a bolster, placing it behind your lower back, which is going to kind of help the shoulders release a little bit and open up the chest area. So whichever option you want for your Shavasana, or maybe you just put the blanket over you to keep you warm, that's fine too. Let the feet naturally open up out to the side. Get out any last movement so that you can come to a place of stillness. Check in with your body, and if you have any place in particular that you notice of tension, just consciously tell yourself to release, relax, and let go. And then from here, take a nice deep inhale. Sweet exhale. And then one more time, long, deep inhale. Sweet exhale. And then start to bring some movement back to your body, maybe wiggling your fingers, your toes, and then starting to roll out your ankles and your wrists. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead or bend your knees and roll onto one side, just pausing there for maybe 2 or 3 breaths. And whenever you're ready, making your way all the way up to a seat. And then we'll finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. We'll take one more inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale to press your palms together and bring your hands to your heart center. Just taking a moment here to reflect on your practice, maybe feeling a little bit more peaceful, feeling a sense of gratitude, thanking yourself for coming out and doing something good for your body, your mind, and allowing the positive energy that you feel from class to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the evening and throughout the day tomorrow. Namaste. I really need a dimmer. I know, it's like, warning.